I want to wash fast and safe in the sun, and I'm doing it where else? In a Walmart parking lot. I'm Nick, this is a GoPro on my chest to give you some B-roll. I want to play with some tools today and I want no water spotting whatsoever. Here's what I'd like to show you. The new QUIVRFLEX hose. It's Josh V's new hose. It's very long. If you remember my first Walmart detail, I was really struggling with my cordless Ego pressure washer. Here is the cordless Ego pressure washer. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but I'm gonna try and show it to you on my GoPro. It worked very well. I loved it. However, the hose that it came with really tangled up and it's quite short. So this hose actually goes all the way around the vehicle, which I think is gonna give me a lot more freedom. Maybe it's gonna allow for more inefficiency because if you have a short hose, you just work back toward the pressure washer on your first pass, and you go around. That's sort of the idea, right? But I just like the idea of having more hose to work with. So I'm gonna use some sun-friendly techniques. I'll get to it here, but I wanna wash top to bottom, back to front. I have gallons of purified water at Walmart. It was like 55 cents a gallon instead of the distilled, which was like $1.20 per gallon. I'm pretty sure this purified water is gonna be good in terms of no water spotting. And as much as I wanted to put on a foam show, I'm just gonna do rinseless. I have rinseless wash diluted 256:1 in my giant 5-gallon water here, which was actually a comment someone gave me earlier. So thank you for the comments. They suggested just go get a 5-gallon thing of water and fill it up. That'll be better than buying the individual gallons. It already makes a lot of sense. It did take time to do this, but I wanna just make sure I'm not risking any water spots in the sun. So with that, I'm just gonna get to it. I'm gonna document what I do along the way, testing out some fun products, demonstrating what I hope will be like efficiency in the sun, and having some fun along the way. Starting with my IK foamer here, I've got all clean at 15:1, a little bit of Josh V's pH neutral Rogue soap. I flirted with the idea, I really did, of doing a foam and then rinse and rinseless, where I would just rinse with the rinseless in there, like kind of combining 2 steps into one, but I'm like, no, let me just do my 1-step rinseless wash where I rinse and I have the rinseless in there, and then just see if it can blow out a lot of this gunkiness, because I'm gonna show you some B-roll. The doors are very dirty, and quite frankly, everywhere is very dirty. We've got dirty paint, dirty windows, and dirty wheels. So, back to the wheels, let's see what we can do here. It's been a while with these wheels. You can see how dirty they are right here. So I'm gonna start with some iron remover just on the faces of the wheels. They are very easy to clean, these 5 spokes, but these are really dirty as well. And then I've got all clean and some pH neutral Rogue soap from Josh V in here. I'd use Incredible Suds, but I'm out of it. So you can see the purple activating as we speak. That's a good sign. I knew I was gonna run out of air on that side. Luckily, I came prepared. All I wanna do right now is leverage dwell time with these wheels and the all-purpose cleaner and the iron remover. I'm gonna get to rinsing from the top down with my rinseless wash in the pressure washer. Okay, so pretty much my wheels are clean. This car is ceramic coated, so it's cleaning up ever so nicely. I wanted to do more steps. I don't think I'm going to need to. If I need to re-wet it, I've got rinseless in my bucket. And for now, I'm just gonna wash top to bottom. Be very systematic here. And as I go ahead and wash, I'm gonna dry at the same time. Normally I save the back for the end because it's the dirtiest. Today I'm just in this real get her done mode. So I wanna wash, I wanna dry and be done. And we'll do a little Quiver hot coat as a drying aid. I'm not gonna overuse it. I've already got rinseless on the paint. It's a very well protected paint. Other thing to notice, I'm trying to park by a tree here, right guys? I'm always like thinking, where might I find some shade? What could make my life just a little bit easier? Worst comes to worst, right? You always wanna protect against the direct sunlight as much as you can. And yes, I did cave. I got myself a step ladder here. Makes life easy. And this is the wheel and body brush from DIY Detail. You can find it on thehouseofrags.com. Just use promo code Nick at Night to save 10% off any of the products you see in this video. I think I'm gonna do the roof last. It may seem like the opposite of me being meticulous, I know. I'll just dry the roof last, and I think I'm gonna do the wheels last because I'm not too worried about these wheels. They cleaned up so nicely. I'm gonna do one final rinse at the end, probably, just to get all the stuff out of there anyway, but I'll keep it controlled. I'll keep it controlled. Now, I'm just benefiting from a little bit of shade coming in, so I'm gonna actually do 2 panels here. And remember, you've already got rinseless wash, mitigating against those water spots. Oh yeah, and then the stuff here on the pillar just disappeared with that wash pass. I can't remember if I've done 2 sides. The easy part about the system is you don't have to guess. If you don't remember which side you started on, that's usually a visual color cue. But if you don't remember, just dip it back in the bucket. One side of your sponge, of your legacy sponge per panel, and I'll just flip. That got kind of dirty. And I'll just do the next panel here. I'll get a little greedy and do this front fender with no pressure whatsoever on the legacy sponge as I move. I want to give a little shout out to Josh V, because of course I'm using the new QUIVRFLEX hose. So yeah, I'll use his drying aid. This is Quiver Hot Coat, and I try to treat it just like, you know, my favorite ceramic gloss, where it's like we do 1 spray per panel, maybe a little bit more, but I don't want to be overdoing it with hot coat. And it's very sunlight friendly. But again, I like the fact that I had purified water. I don't know if it's in my head or not. Write in the comments below. Is the purified water basically as good as distilled water when you're detailing paint? That's what I'd like to know. The one thing we don't want to do with our drying towel is hit a wheel or a tire. Got plenty of power left. I have the 5 amp hour battery. Just 1 battery bar has gone away. But if I wanted to re-wet the hood of the car here, the Jeep, that fairly unnecessary move was just to keep everything wet. But again, we have the right water here. We got rinseless wash in the pressure washer. We have nothing to worry about. But I'm mitigating against all risks, right? That second pressure washer also dislodged some bug guts that maybe had been dwelling under the rinseless wash. So like, they definitely were ready to move. And then as soon as the rinseless wash hit in the pressure washer that second time, they did a great job of just moving right off the paint. We want safe contact washing, right? I like to have 2 legacy sponges in my bucket. It feels kind of luxurious, but not super necessary. Now, if I'm still getting dark residue in the rinseless wash solution, you see how that's black? I'm just gonna hit this with a fresh side. So this gives me a cue that we've got really dirty paint, and we wanna do this until the rinseless wash residue comes up clear. Now it's clear, right? Just gonna test it one more time. Is it more clear now? No, it was this clear the second time. So yeah, just do 2 sides per panel. It'll make your life very easy. So for an example, like, let's call this 2x2 section of the hood a panel. I would do red. And then if it's still a little brown under there, as the rinseless wash is emulsifying all that leftover grit or dirt, boom, just like that, and it's gone clear. Always put the wiper arm down as soon as you are done with your cleaning process. That is just a pro tip in case the wind blows it down. You don't want anything shattering on you. And the only area I like to decontaminate on this Jeep, and I can use my rinseless wash as the decontamination lubricant, as my clay lube, you could say, it's just the hood, because, and the windshield will get bugs. I park outside and lots of stuff likes to find my hood and just stay there for a while. So what I'm doing here is ever so patiently, really enjoying that the sun went behind some clouds, flipping sides as often as I feel I need to. Usually it's just 1 side of the towel per panel, so no pressure, but just feeling so silky smooth under there. I could actually use Josh V's Rogue as a clay lube. I didn't even think about that. I'm only doing this on the, like I said, the hood, where I feel like it could just use a little extra love. when things fall on it, obviously there's nowhere for them to go, so they like to kind of bake in there. Real quick, our wheel and body brush, super safe on paint as well. You've been seeing me use it, but let's see what we can't move off of this front grille. Okay, I lied. We're gonna do the decon towel just for the front grille as it relates to bugs. Yeah, that wanted to move, that wanted to move. Sometimes you just need the decon towel to do a little exfoliation for you. Okay, I'm kind of running low on rinseless wash, so I'm not gonna respray these. I'm pretty confident in the fact that they got really clean in that initial pass, but I'm gonna hit them with rinseless wash. The idea is I want to do a final rinse with whatever is left in my rinseless wash bucket. And this brush was sitting in the wheel bucket, which has rinseless wash 256:1 in there. Do that real quick. Grab my barrel brush. Work that a little bit in there. Redunk it after using a couple sides. And we'll just kind of work. And this one I'm kind of a little sloppy in the technique, but you get the idea right there. A little rinseless wash. As a final rinse, we'll do ceramic gloss and dry. All right, my trusty bottle of ceramic gloss. 2, maybe 3 sprays, because it's me. I don't know if it's this fender flare or what, but I'm not getting any overspray back onto the car. So a lot of times when I first learned to detail, it was like, always do wheels first because they're so dirty, right? They're so close to the ground, and if you rinse them off, they're gonna be kicking up a bunch of junk. I know the steps that I did before this. This wheel face basically looked clean. I've never ceramic coated these wheels, but I have definitely been using quick beads or ceramic gloss, or I think I've used Quiver hot coat. So basically every time I wash these wheels, they get a layer of protection, and they're doing really well. So, you know, I'm not mad at you if you don't ceramic coat your wheels. I still would prefer to have done it, but that's just not how it played out when I got this Jeep in Omaha. But these wheels are cleaning up awesome. I'm actually really grateful that the sun went out. But I mean, these principles, and again, especially I think with this filtered water, would absolutely apply. So when I clean wheels, I like to do the valve stem as my 12 o'clock, and then I go ahead and I tackle the tire. I like to do the tire second. I guess it just depends on who you talk to. Ivan likes to do the tire first. Choose your own adventure, but the next step is the barrels. So you kind of turn your brush, maybe a third or quarter turn every time. Then you go top to bottom. You make sure that's rinsed out. And then you do this. Most people will never see their barrels, but it's a good practice. Then rinse this wash in the pressure washer for that final rinse. And by the feel of it, just on time, I'm running out of water. So that's all the rinsing I'm gonna need to do. Okay, so here's my final step. I'm going to blow dry all the nooks and crannies with my Ego blower. The drying process with the towel is actually part of the cleaning for us, so you don't want to get any minerals left on the paint. You can do that if you just simply blow dry and then use your towel. So that's why we do the towel first, the DIY detail. A few nooks and crannies, maybe the wheels, get everything dry, put some tire shine on, and call it a day. So my thought is, don't let brown get you down when it comes to tires. We've cleaned this. We don't want to remove all the browning. We don't want to go all the way down the rabbit hole. They're perfectly clean. Yeah, there's a little bit of browning, but I'm going to do some tire dressing here from DIY Detail. Again, you can find this on thehouseofrags.com. Use promo code Nick at Night. What we're doing here with this tire lotion is just that. We're replenishing the tire here. We're going to give it a really nice appearance. It's not overly, glossy. It's not like that greasy look. I actually kind of like a greasy look, and if you like that, you can do 2 layers. And I'm way overdoing it with the tire dressing here, but I really enjoy this process. If you really want to dial it in, you'll drive forward or backward a couple feet and make sure this spot right on the ground that I inevitably won't be able to get totally great gets even coverage. But you see the way we just sort of transform the appearance of this tire and honestly the vehicle by dressing it. What I also love to do is dress the plastics here. 10-year-old Jeep plastics. They've been coated with our plastic restore and protect. But you know, plastics just oxidize. They do what they do. Depends on your conditions, your vehicle. Is it garaged? How's it driven? What weather do you live in? But you can just see how rich and matte this is versus over there. So look at that plastic right there. And again, this is temporary, maybe a couple weeks, right? But that is a lot lighter than that. So I just like to brighten up these plastics with tire dressing from DIY Detail. And there you have it. I used everything I got at Walmart, 5 gallons and then 3 threes, so 9 plus 5, that's 14 gallons. I had 2 buckets for wheels and wash, and then of course, rinsing everything, obviously diluted, rinseless wash through my Ego cordless pressure washer. Just gonna finish up the tire shine here and wrap it up. Thank you, Walmart. I really like this hose. It's very long. I don't really feel like I lost any pressure, even with it being as long as it is. Much longer again than the stock hose that came with my Ego pressure washer. Josh V, this is a hit, brother. I appreciate you sending this out. House of Rags, shout out to them. Folks, if you want to see another amazing detailing video, click right here. This had the exact effect. The walking up in the grocery store parking lot from 10 feet away and being like, dang, I got a really clean car. I got a shiny whip, you know what I mean? Let's go. I don't often get excited about this Jeep, but when it's real clean, it's very sexy.